Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to share with you the first flip through of this year of my Hobonichi Cousin. I am using the English version this year and let's go through the month of Jan. Now as usual I will be going through all the spreads of course because I tend to use most of the spreads in the Cousin. So let's begin with this one. You might notice through this video that some of my spreads are very similar to what I have been doing with them last year because see, if there is a system that works for me, why to mess with it? It is going great, it is smooth, well oiled, it is functional and I'm happy with it, so I'm continuing with the same as such. Now this spread is what I use to track my income because I have multiple sources of income and they are not exactly stable, so I sometimes receive from multiple sources a month. Some months I do not receive any at all. So it is a good way to track all of that over here, and it's also not the same amount. So what I do is I just highlight in green whichever is the date that I receive an income, and below it I write the initial of the source that I got it from and of course the amount. I've just covered it as of now, but that is what appears over here and I will do that for the whole year. Now coming to the index. This is what I use to index my daily pages where I journal a lot. There I memory keep and this really helps me. Now what I've done over here is clearly, as you can see, there are empty spaces. I have some blank pages in my daily, so that does not transfer over here, and also sometimes maybe it's not really relevant enough to come up over here as such. This is really useful because even today for that matter, I took my last year's planner. I went through the index and found the specific section that I was looking for because I was looking for a certain information which is really easy to find in the lot of journaling that I've done once I go through the index. For me, journaling is not only about putting out my feelings on paper. It's largely about memory keeping because I write about what happened in the day, and that really helps me to go back and look through things if I wish to because I have a really bad memory. In any case, that is what I use this for. I wouldn't really suggest this for habit tracking for most people at least because I tried that 1 year and it was a mess. The reason is simple because many of you might have had that issue where you had to flip through the pages of the Hobonichi Cousin, and coming to this page every day to track the habits is really annoying. So I stopped with that because I never really tracked my habits over here, and this is what I've come up with, what works for me. The top and the bottom section is obviously not used, so I decorate it if required, otherwise they are left blank. Now let's go to the monthly. This is the monthly spread. Now you might have noticed on top that I have these bookmarks. They are bookmarks from Erin Condren, which I'd got in a seasonal surprise box I think last year or the year before that. And surprisingly, they are really functional. I thought I would stop using them after a while, but I really like them and they are sturdy. They will, I think, last me for a while now, and I'm going to continue with that. Now the pros of these bookmarks are that they are of 3 different colors. They are not way too loud for my taste. But at the same time, I didn't want the exact same design for all the 3 spreads that I refer to often. Now this one, as you can see, is very simple. There's no fading of any colors or any other problem as such. My only issue, if at all, with the tabs is that as you can see over here, they kind of leave marks on the pages, but it's not really a big deal because it's just for a few pages. Then I keep on moving the tabs around, so it doesn't last for long. Now coming to the actual spread, what I've done over here is I've covered up the days that are not part of the monthly by using a washi tape that I like, and I've done this for all the 12 months. Other than that, I've also pre-planned birthdays and anniversaries. None of them are there in Jan, so you won't see any over here. Other than that, I have tracked important events by using circle stickers. Now you might see a number of these circle stickers. They signify something or the other. I have a key for this at the back of the Cousin. I do not really need to refer to it beyond the month of Jan or Feb because by then I know what they refer to and don't really need it after that. But I keep that key at the back because once the year is done, if I come back to this planner, I should be able to identify what these stickers mean, and therefore the key will always remain at the planner even after I'm done with it. Now there are a few that indicate my periods, some bills and such, the amount of course, that is what you see here. I also track my social media, how often I upload on YouTube as well as Instagram. I don't use stickers for these because I find it is pointless to buy them. They are quite expensive for me. I would rather draw, messy doodles like this, which are fine with me. Then, of course, I track my subscriber count and followers over here. Which may seem irrelevant. It is relevant to me in terms of how often I upload and how this has changed as such. So, it gives me inspiration to continue with posting videos as such. Other than that, I write any important highlights of days that prop up. So here, my father, he left on a trip. I always write about any trips taken by me or my family for reference, and that is why certain things are marked, and they're always in a highlight color as well. There's no color scheme to this, it is random. I just want that to stand out on the paper. And here on 20th, I bought we got 2 new fishes. My previous one died. My pet, he was called Blue, and my new ones, they're called Dusky and Stormy. It's a girl and a boy, and I'm really excited about them. It's around 2 weeks now that they've come here, and I've been loving them. One advice over here, just deviating from the topic, for those who are new to this fish keeping, please do not buy fishes that look sick or are really old. Do a little research before going and doing that, because when you're new, maybe you don't have that strength to deal with it, or even at any point of time for that matter. Even if you are an experienced fish keeper, maybe that is not something that you want to go through, because it's a lot of pain. When I lost my first one, it was just a lot of pain and it was not worth it. Might as well get one that is something that you are comfortable with looking after. But of course, if you are that person who wants to adopt pets as such, look after them, willing to treat them through it, and you have the strength to deal with it when they pass away, it's of course totally up to you. But anyway, let's come back to topic. I'm getting distracted. The next spread is the weekly spread. So here I have this bookmark. It's perfect for the spread because this is exactly where I write my to-dos. Okay. Now I never use the extra spreads or the space that is there in the Hobonichi. So this is from last year. I didn't use that. I just decorated it with this washi, and with the talent and ability of this washi, I managed to tear the page, of course, as you can see. So it's left at that. The first page itself, I have to make a mess somewhere, so it was very obvious. Anyway, so I have this Happy New Year just for a sort of decoration at the beginning of the planner. I used an Erin Condren stencil for this because I don't really have any talent for this sort of writing. We'll come to all of this. I've used only one day, as you can see, tracked over here. I'll explain it better on the next spread. Yes, my weekly spreads are very minimal in terms that I don't really use stickers over here. It's pen only, and that too just a single pen, a black pen that I use, which is from, again, EC. Now what I've done is the left hand side is for tracking. I leave it completely for tracking. So even if I want to add more things into it, that's up to me. As of now, I have hair care, skin care, sleep. In sleep, as you can see, I write down the amount of, I write down the exact time that I have slept and also the amount of hours that I slept to see whether, I am getting a decent sleep or not, which is really not good because bad sleep, as you can see. And of course, crossing or ticking off as required based on the skincare and haircare routine that I'm following on a daily basis. At the top, I also track my drinking, which is mostly helpful because 2 is good, 3 is great, and 1 is not good. Of course, I never had a 0, I think, but that is really bad. Me time is where I do things that I enjoy. So what I write over here right now is reading books, the current book that I'm reading, and I just write down the number of chapters that I covered that day. For this month, I would say my me time is not really great, but it's fine. I've used it and I'm kind of happy about that. The to-do section is of course the main section. This is where my daily tasks appear. I tick off as required or put a cross as required depending on whether I completed the task or not. On certain lazy days, what I do is instead of writing it beforehand, I complete a task and then add the completed task to the list as such. It kind of makes me happy that I've done those things after as well. So it is not that certain days I have not done anything at all. It's just that certain days I remember to do it and then other days I don't. Then we have, of course, events. You might see a lot of these events coming up in my planner. It's not that I'm an extrovert and I attend a lot of events. These are church events, to be specific, and I'm an important member of it, so I need to kind of track them. It's not that I attend all of them. So I just keep a note of the time and the place that it occurs in. So it could be other events for you, like appointments and such. Of course, it's your preference. You can go ahead with whatever you wish to add over there. And as usual, I have to do a little smearing on my paper whenever required, at least once a month. So this is how it has continued for most of Jan. I have been consistent, I think, with most of it, except for the fact that my me time is largely empty, sadly. This, I would say, was a decent month in terms of using my planner, because I have used it almost regularly. So that kind of makes me happy, and this is where we are at as we are on the 31st of Jan. Now let us go to my daily spreads. For the dailies, I have this today bookmark, again perfect for my dailies. As I move it from page to page, it's always today, it's a daily. So that is also beautiful. Now before the daily, I have this shopping tracker, which I've not used at all, which I'm happy about, of course, even though I don't sound like it, about not buying any stationery. This is specifically for stationery, not for any other things. Now, as always, the dashboard for me is just for me to write about interesting quotes, something that I liked this month as such. I do not really use this, in a functional way as you would think, okay, but this makes me happy when I come back to it and read it. So this is a really nice one. If you get tired, learn to rest, not to quit. This was really relevant for me in terms of planning itself, okay, because at times, I just get exhausted and then I don't want to do it, okay, do any of this planning, fill in, journal. But then I've learned that maybe even if I don't do it that day, I can try to come back to it instead of quitting it completely. So that is something, and of course it is relevant to a lot of other things in my life, but we'll leave it at that for now. Now, coming back to this. So for me, daily spreads is not forceful writing. If I want to write, I will journal. I would suggest that always try to journal at the end of the day as much as possible. Okay, that is a perfect time to write it instead of postponing it for another day. But who am I to give advice? I always postpone it. Okay, but anyway. So we have this thing that you see over here, this column that I've made. There is a secret line here which I have, highlighted over here. And what I've done here is something new for this year. So I'm making lists, about 7 lists. So you will see this sort of columns on 7 days. Lists of things like YouTube, Instagram, my ideas that I have for the month and whether I have uploaded them. If I have, it's a tick mark, and if it's a no, it's a cross. And sometimes it doesn't go as planned. These were the original dates that I planned it for, and these were the actual dates it got uploaded on. So this is just for my knowledge, and having this over here kind of motivates me to create the videos and upload them, because as of otherwise, if I don't plan my social media, it never happens, because I'm quite busy with my daily life and it never happens as such. Then of course we have Instagram here. Skincare was empty this month. Skincare is a very important category for me in the past few years. When I say skincare, it's more of my face, but I wish I had looked after my skin a lot better. It would have been a better condition now, but I'm trying now. So skincare, it's like a wish list. What I do is I write down, the things that I feel I need. For example, if I need a serum, I write it down over here. Most of the times these things are expensive or I'm just hoarding them. So what I do is if I find it at a decent price, I feel like buying it, I end up buying it and it gets a tick. If it does not, I forward it to the next month. So I kind of save money in that way instead of excessively buying. Or if I feel or I completely lose interest in it and I feel that it's not really important any longer, I cross it off. In that way, again, I'm saving money. So these lists actually work quite great for me. I would suggest trying that out. But yes, this is good for me. So now we are at the end of the daily pages. Now let's go towards the back of the planner. So I don't go here often, but I just show you what I've been using. So I have a lot of goal planning and such over here, and the timetable, which I've kind of shown in the setup video, so you can just refer to it over there. Now what I do here, or what I've used here, is this, okay, these two spreads. So this is my books to read section. So for Jan, I read only one book, of course, and I gave it stars. This is from a Hobonichi stencil, 3 stars for the book. And I've kept it minimal this year. Frankly, I'll tell you openly, I like this, but I liked my previous year's idea a lot better. So I know that I'm going to that for next year. So this is just something I've done for this year because I was really lazy this time to, set up a spread beforehand. And as I told in my setup video, I'm going to do a similar version over here also for me to add more books, and this page is basically useless, so might as well do that. Again, me being lazy, have not done that. I have no idea whether I will do it even if I reach the end of the year. Now coming to the checkoff sheet. The checkoff sheet is in reference to this, the days that I'm actually reading, and the days that I've not read at all, of course, it's blank. I have highlighted on days that I've read, which is really few in number, but it's fine. So that is all for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I would love to hear from you about your first month of planning and how it's going for you so far in the year 2023. Bye. See you in the next video.